Hey there, good afternoon to you. My name is Judith, and this is every NG. This is your one-stop for unlimited Nigerian trends. And today, as usual, I know you see me every day and you're like, why do you even bother introducing? But for the people who are just joining us for the first time, we give daily roundup for the BBNaija 2021 season, as well as live videos giving you, just summing up what the housemates have been up to. And as you can see today, I'm lounging in the house. I look like one of the housemates already. Look at my pretty background. So guys, like I said earlier, we're going to be giving a roundup of what happened in day 11. That was yesterday. That's why I'm here today. Don't forget to drop your comments, because this is supposed to be like an interactive thing. You drop the gist, I drop the gist, we converse, have a conversation, and have fun, right? And also share this video to your friends, let them join in the fun. Let's talk, okay? So yesterday was pretty emotional, and most of us know why, but I'll give you the gist anyway. A lot happened. Honestly, there was a lot that the whole house was just all over the place. A lot happened, and at first people were just talking, pairing up in twos, having this long love conversations, and I'm sure even Biggie was like, guys, don't you have something else to talk about? And at some point Biggie was tired. I could tell that Biggie was tired because he gave them like an impromptu task. So the housemates got a task. They were all divided into 3 groups. So of course 7 people, and then one group had 8 because there are 22 housemates. So what they were supposed to do was paint, make a painting to kind of depict what they are feeling, how they imagine the whole scenario of being in the Big Brother house to be, right? And of course people went this year. The house is actually really lucky because they have earrings. Arin is someone who paints, he's an artist. They also have Arin, who is an art collector, so she's vast in that place. They have Sasuke, who is also interested in art. So they have a lot of people who are into these things, a lot of arty people. So they didn't have so much of a problem until Sammie decided to be annoying. So Sammie is in Arin's group, right? And Sammie, the way he is, he talks a lot. And I really feel like the reason I say Sammie was being annoying, because remember last week, he was the one directing the task, and anybody who tried to maybe distract him or do something he didn't like, as a director, he was always like, stop doing that, guys. Like, I don't like it. It's not funny. And people respected him. They respected his authority as the director at the time and went with it. And that was why they won that task. So now Sammie found himself in Arin's group, right? And Arin, being the art collector, decided to bring an idea, seeing that she has experience with these things. She brought up the idea. Everybody flew with it. Everybody was like, okay, yeah, that's cool. That's fine. We can work with it. And next thing you know, Sammie went to go and peep into other groups, like the other 2 groups, and he saw that they were doing different things. And then he came back to his group and started laughing at their work. And at that point, Arin had it up to here. She was like, what is wrong with you exactly? Like, I brought up this idea. You said it was cool. Every other person in the group said it was cool. So why are you now going, maybe after seeing what other people did and you felt that ours wasn't as good, you're coming here to laugh? Like, what's funny about it? And she was really pissed off. She blasted him. She laughed out. And Arin, when Arin is angry, when she's not even angry, her mouth is bad. When she's angry, imagine how bad it would be. So she literally told everybody in the group wasn't really happy with what Sammie did, but she was the one who came up to say, Sammie, like, you can't be doing that. We're all happy with what we're doing before you decided to go and peep into other people's work, and now you're not content with what we've brought up. So that was it. But all housemates actually came up with really nice paintings. Let me just show you a picture of what all of them were up to. 3 paintings. Some people drew the Big Brother's eye. That's group 1. They had like the Big Brother's eye. That was White Money's group, because if you look very closely into that picture, you see elements of White Money there. See the Naira sign? He's the one that came up with that idea. He's the one that came up with that idea. And there are so many things around their painting. They had the love sign, cameras showing that Biggie's eyes are always on you, anger showing the different emotions, as well as a happy smiley, and then, of course, winning the show. So that was it. Then group 2. Group 2 was Yaris's group, and they had like a whole eagle thing. Saga's group, I beg your pardon, they had a whole eagle thing. I really don't understand the rationale behind that painting, but I'm sure Biggie can see the idea. And then group 3 was Arin's group. They did the whole infinity sign showing the good and bad sides, the good sides of being in the house, bad sides of being in the house, good sides of being a human being generally, and the bad side. So that's why I say that Arin, being an art collector, just had deeper meaning into everything that was happening. Like, many people were just doing what they were like, doing their own artwork around, the Big Brother show, how it's going to change their lives, the things that come with being on the show. But she just went a little bit further and did it as life in general. So that's what we had. And of course, she was one who presented, because again, as curator, so she presented the task for them. Every group had like one representative to come and talk instead of everybody. Imagine 7 people beside the board, and it's going to be confusing. So Boma suggested to Biggie that they have one representative, and that was how the task was presented. So now, after this, the winner wasn't announced. Biggie said he was going to announce the winner, so we are still waiting on that. And imagine what's going to be funny if Arin's group wins. They are going to be like, Sammie, so what were you laughing at, bro? What was funny? And maybe if they give them maybe 1,000 best, Sammie probably 100. And every other person will get maybe 200 because he was laughing. I'm just joking. I don't know if that's what's going to happen, but yes. So now to the emotional part of the night. It was that very long, very deep conversation between Angel and Arin. And Arin is so many things, but one thing that we can be sure of is the fact that when she's with you, at least for the moment. And it was so evident in how she was talking with Angel. She was even crying with her. I mean, it was really emotional. I was moved to tears because Angel has said it time and time again, even when they were getting to know themselves first week. She said that she had like a very traumatic and unstable childhood. She didn't grow up with her parents. She found out as she was born that her mom tried to take her out so many times and it wasn't successful. I mean, she came into the world, obviously. We are seeing Angel now. So whatever plans her mom had to like abort her was not successful. And she found out about that as a child. So it already messed with her head, knowing that her mom didn't want her at the time. And she didn't grow up with her parents. She grew up with her grandma who had dementia, and she had to take care of the woman at such a young age. There was just so much going on. And then at the age of 19, she lost her first boyfriend, like he died. So she has had like back-to-back traumatic experiences, and it just shows in, how her personality is, how the kind of mood swing she has. Because Angel today, she's waking up, she's in a good mood, she's vibing, she's good, she's making sure everybody is okay. Tomorrow she's just down. Like, she has those regular mood swings. And when Arin suggested that she speaks to a therapist, Biggie should bring a therapist, she's like, she has tried so many people. Like, she has been on this mental health journey for a while, and she has tried therapists, counselors, spiritual, everything. She has gone to everything. I mean, she used to self-harm at some point. If you check her hand, she had like injury marks. She has where she used razor to like try to kill herself. There was just like, not kill herself per se, but like harm herself to take away the pain that she was feeling here to like a more physical pain. And that was it. And it was just really touching. And Arin was in tears. Like, Arin, it felt like Arin was her, I don't know, like Arin felt what she was feeling when she was a child. And talking to Arin, Angel was like, she doesn't feel like she should be in the house. She feels like she's going back into having like a relapse into that person that used to self-harm, that person that was constantly depressed, and she didn't feel like she wanted to be here anymore. And it was a lot. And usually like people will be like, okay, if you don't want to be like viewers, be like, if you don't want to be in the house, then leave now. Who is holding you? But that conversation was deeper than just, I'm tired of being in this house. You get that kind of thing. There's a difference between, me, I'm bored, or there's nothing to do, I'm tired of being in this house. And the conversation that Angel had with Arin, that was like, it was a very fragile conversation, and she was at a very fragile point in her life. So there was no way anybody would have been like, oh, do you know what? You get that kind of thing, like, oh, do you know how many people want to be here and stuff like that? Arin was basically telling her that, look at you, 21, your life has more twists than some people that are 30. And Arin used herself as an example. She's like, look at me, at the age of 21, I didn't even know my left from my right. I didn't even know what I was doing in my life. And look at you here on Big Brother's platform. You've been through so much, you've grown so much. People are misjudging you, yes, but they don't know your story. So you shouldn't feel, bad about the way the housemates see you or the way the viewers will see you. And you saying that you don't want to be here. Okay, when you're outside, when you're at home, you could have easily had a bad day as well. It could have been like a terrible Wednesday for you. So this bad day that you're having can happen in or outside the house. So don't make it a thing of, oh, I'm in the house, I need to leave. Your opportunity to be here, there's a reason you're here. So just suck it up, basically. And Maria came in. Okay, so here's something funny. I know that the mood was a bit down, but here's something funny that happened halfway. You know that Sammie and Arin had a fight, right? So when Arin and Angel went into the garden, many housemates thought that it was because of what happened with Sammie. And then you see the happy-go-lucky Nini and Saga coming into the garden, because they thought it was the whole artwork situation. Now, can you tell me why Saga came in and he wanted to jump on like Arin, like, oh, I'm going to hug you now, don't worry about it, it's in the past. And then Arin she was so scared, she's like, look, Saga, we're not in the mood for that. That's not the conversation we're having. Can you excuse us? And you could have seen Saga's face, we were like, oh, okay. All right. I thought I was trying to help, but we moved. And then he held onto Nini and they just walked off. Like, when someone is having like a walk of shame. That was literally what it looked like. I mean, obviously they didn't know what was going on, so you can't blame them. But it was just really awkward. Like, he was coming in with so much energy, and Arin just stopped in there like, okay, that's not what we are doing now. Please excuse us. I was like, child, that was harsh, but it had to be said. So after Angel was crying, they went back, and Maria came in. Maria is such a tough love person. Arin is more, empathetic. Maria is like, Maria is the one who now came in and I was like, do you know, like, I'm 29 and I've not even experienced half of what you've experienced. You should be grateful you're here. Forget about age. It's not even a matter of age. Like, just be grateful you're here. Just basically cemented everything, put a little bit of tough love in the mix. And that was basically most of the conversation. But before I continue with the gist, don't forget that you can catch up with us, on any of these platforms. Our blog is going to be on the screen. Every.ng. We write stories on things that the housemates have been up to, but not just that. If you're also a lover of everything Nigerian, then we have a lot of updates and things happening in Nigeria for you on the blog as well. You can also follow us on Facebook, like our page. Our Twitter accounts will also be on the screen, as well as Instagram, okay? All right. And don't forget to drop your comments. Like I said, we're supposed to be having an interactive conversation, so do not forget to drop your comments on everything that I am talking about, okay? So yeah, back to that whole, like, Angel looked down, and me watching that just put me on edge. I can't even imagine how the organizers of the show were, because watching that made me so uncomfortable. I'm like, I hope this girl doesn't have like a major relapse in the house, because it's going to be like, let's not even imagine it. So it was really emotional. Like I said, it was just a whole lot. And I wasn't even surprised when Biggie called her into the dining room for a long time this morning. She probably met with a therapist, very possible, because she was gone for so long that Sammie started looking for her like, where is Angel? She's not in the bathroom. She's not upstairs. She's not down here. She's not in the kitchen. Where is she? She's not in the garden. So where exactly is Angel? But that was when Biggie called her to the dining room. She was there for a while, a long time. So yeah, now let's talk about Jackie B. Jackie B spoke about her son. Oh guys, I even forgot to announce initially, today is Tega's wedding anniversary. So whoop whoop for Tega and her husband AJ Money. All right, so back to Jackie B. I was just talking about family. That was what I remembered. Jackie B was talking about her son. Now remember, her son Nathan is like grown. He's approaching his teens, like 10. He's a big boy. If you see his picture, wearing his, senator kaftan, big boy things. And yeah, so she was talking about him, and she said that she hasn't been away from her son for more than 10 days at a stretch. So this was a really big deal for her, like coming on the show, and she was crying, just so emotional. She didn't want to leave him. I'm like, okay, then stay back home and give someone else your slot. I don't know. Stay back home and give someone else your slot. All right, I have a comment from Monero. He says, wow, your background is very lovely, and now I really feel for Angel. Thank you so much for joining the video. And yes, that whole conversation, like, if you didn't have an insight on the kind of person Angel was and what she has been through, that conversation wasn't even the tip of the iceberg, because the housemates don't even know everything. Arin herself, who is so close to Angel, doesn't know everything. So it was a lot to deal with, honestly. Back to Jackie B and her son. So yeah, she was talking about, how the boy was so strong that she even overheard him talking to her sister, saying that the reason he didn't cry that his mom was going was because she was already crying, and he was trying to be strong for her. I'm like, wow. Look at this young man. Look at you being like putting yourself and being there for your mom and your family. That was really amazing. So that was where we wrapped things up for last night. Like yesterday, it was just it was a lot, honestly. That conversation was the highlight of yesterday. If we're being honest, it was the highlight of yesterday. But yeah, there we have it. Thank you so much. I've come to the end of this roundup. But expect me at 4 p.m. where I'll be giving you all the fights, because there's already fights. Guys, the gist today is plenty. All the fights, everything that the housemates are going to get up to today. Person that pissed off white money, person who flung food, everything for you at 4 p.m. today. So make it a gist with every NG, okay? Till then, have a lovely day. Bye.